Have you ever heard an economist talk about productivity? Your eyes may have glazed over, but the productivity debate does matter for your well-being. Usually when economists talk about productivity, it's pretty simple. How much economic output we get from each hour of work. That's it. Higher productivity is better. It is of course better to produce $100 of value working an hour than $2. The problem is, Canada doesn't rank very high. The US and many European countries are well ahead of us on productivity, and they have been for a very long time. Low productivity is bad. It means lower wages, less wealth, less tax revenue to spend and invest, and a lower standard of living. Those are real problems. We do need to boost our productivity, but we keep trying the wrong things. For 30 years, lobbyists for corporate Canada have insisted that if we just cut their taxes, slash regulations, privatize more stuff, enter into free trade agreements with the United States, and balance the budget, then they'd make more profits, reinvest in their companies, and productivity would boom. But it didn't. The best research we have shows that governments checked off almost every box on corporate Canada's wish list, and our productivity didn't improve. In fact, we fell further behind. Why? Because even though profits did soar, companies didn't choose to invest in the things that actually make a business more productive, like worker training, new machinery, research and development, and IT. Instead, they took their profits and increased payouts to investors and executives, often structured in ways to avoid income taxes. So, if the usual corporate prescriptions don't work, what does? It turns out the solution looks a lot like what an average person might guess. Make it easier and cheaper for entrepreneurs to access capital. Have more real competition in the Canadian economy so new businesses can innovate and disrupt legacy players. Make housing more affordable so workers can actually afford to live near where jobs are. Invest more in things like public transit to reduce city congestion so people can get to work and goods can get to market. Lower the everyday costs of living that cause stress and prevent many people from saving or investing. And don't sell our most productive businesses to foreign capital who then relocate the IP and the high-value jobs outside Canada. The productivity discussion led by lobbyists for corporate Canada and repeated on the editorial pages of our biggest newspapers is misleading. Mostly because corporate Canada has been a big part of the problem and they don't want to talk about that. They haven't made productivity-enhancing investments. They've protected their oligopolistic powers, and Canada's big banks lend way less to entrepreneurs than our peer countries. I'm sure all of us would love to create twice as much value in half as much time. But if all the new value being created just gets scooped up by those who already have extreme wealth, that won't make Canada stronger. That's the productivity conversation Canada actually needs to be having.